Now, a lot of y'all didn't see this coming because I didn't even see it coming, but shout out to Magic from my member server. He really wanted this video, sponsored it and all. I was going to do it next week, but I looked over the source material for it and I decided I could do this today. So yeah, we're getting it done. So with that being said, make sure to check out the community tab of my channel real quick because I just posted something that allows y'all to vote for what my special video will be on December 25th or Christmas, you know. So basically, if you want to see a specific video, go comment on that post and you can vote for topics by liking them. So just hit the like on a topic you see that you want to see. Unlimited votes, obviously you can vote for every topic, but yeah, do that. And probably sometime tomorrow I'll close it down and then decide what I'm gonna do for the video. But yeah, with that being said, today's topic is about the eco hero himself, Captain Planet, specifically the 12-issue run from Marvel Comics. Hope you guys enjoy this one. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Now, issue 1, right off the bat, starts off with a villain named Hoggish, and Hoggish is planning to drill into the earth and purposely damage the ecosystem. This, of course, is a problem because it's damaging Earth, and Earth has a defense against this in the form of Gaia. Now, the 5 rings are sent out to preserve Earth by Gaia because she wakes up when she feels the disturbance. These rings can instantly appear to the chosen ones no matter where they are on Earth, as evidenced by the fact that the chosen ones are literally on different continents when they first receive these rings. So yeah, Gaia doesn't straightforward fight in this series, but she's really powerful. Gaia then uses these rings to teleport the kids to her, which are the chosen ones. Each ring uses an element. Now, the elements are earth, fire, water, heart, and wind. Okay, so that's the 5. And it is stated that the strongest of them is supposed to be heart. So heart is not like a normal element like the ones you heard, like fire and water, but it combines all those. It's the one that binds the others together. So Matai, aka Heart, probably gonna call him Heart most of the series. I call most of the characters by their element name. Turns out to be the most powerful of the individual characters. By the way, if you want to see me ranking the characters from this series, from weakest to strongest, I can do that. Moving on. So she decides, Gaia sends them out to handle this problem, right? They're the chosen ones. They got these rings. They can use the elements to handle the problem. Gaia, even though she's sending them off in their special jet, she can actually still communicate them wherever they go on Earth. She says, if you get in trouble, if you combine all your powers together, they form an even stronger ability. So they close in on Hoggish, who is being a goon. Hoggish fires enough oil to at the bottom of the ocean floor, and this kid instantly summoned a rock from there, and he doesn't even properly know how to use his powers yet, so that's actually really impressive. Hoggish doesn't care about the environment at all, to the point that he says, yo, real talk, if you don't fall back right now, I'm gonna kill all the animals in the environment. The combined powers are then demonstrated, so the kids are like, yo, this dude's serious. Heart can sense that the animals will die. So they decide, yo, we need to test out our big power. They all come together and combine their power to use their summoning jutsu. Just kidding, but they do summon a spirit or a being from the Earth itself named Captain Planet. Captain Planet officially makes his first appearance in the comic. Captain Planet explains to the kids that their rings don't out and being active. But luckily, he is all of their elements put together, except he's magnified. And then we see him blitz the oil from the weapon that was in the water, completely use a tornado effect to siphon it off, binds it, and then seals it away using multiple elemental powers at once casually. And then a massive drill used for digging into the bottom of the ocean that I just talked about tickled Captain Planet when they tried to use it on him to hurt him. And he proceeded to casually crumple it like it was a toy. Pretty impressive showing straight off the bat. He then gets folded by toxic waste. That's right. China, modern day China, should passively neg Captain Planet because his weakness is toxic waste or any form of pollution. That's like really bad. The kids are very strong even initially right out the gate. They show this by being able to literally push a massive boulder over to help Captain Planet. Cap is restored instantly by cleansing off his outfit and the sunlight hitting him. So if he gets cleaned off or just wiped off, he's gonna regen because he's a being of the earth and he'll get the sunlight, he'll get the cleanliness, all that. It'll instantly recharge him. Captain Planet, knowing, okay, these guys are goons, decides he's going to take it serious and throws a tower of a machine that was drilling and fighting and just completely tosses it out of view. Like, it just completely gets thrown like 1960s Hulk. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, shameless plug, go check it out. It was a really good video, very lengthy, but I cover all his feats from the 60s. Back to Captain Planet. Captain Planet then goes on to address the readers, telling them, hey, look, we might be brawling in here, but you guys can make real change. Do so by helping with the environment. Is that fictional transcendence? You decide. I don't really care. It's not that serious. Don't get too worked up about it. Issue 2. Smog the Dragon appears. Not the one from Lord of the Rings, but it's literally spelled Smog here, like the condition. Now, you will see that in this series, a lot of the names are literal and obvious. Smog appears, gets attacked by a military fighter jet contingency, and auto-destroys them. Like, it was pretty bad. He also boloed an entire town with his super smog breath. Wind goes there, right? They all pull up there because the super smog is caught between mountains and can't rise to the atmosphere, so it's polluting everything. So they show up, and Wind casually clears out acres of super smog instantly so they can land and be safe. Crazy. Wind then goes on, I think her name's Linka, that's it, she's Russian. Wind, aka Linka, almost manages to clear like a town plus area of super smog. She makes a massive smog tornado all the way up past the clouds. This required her to lift all of the town plus smog, like I said, above the surrounding mountains. However, she wasn't quite strong enough to finish it and wasn't able to get it all over, so it ended up falling back and they have to figure out a different way. Wheeler, aka Fire, by the way, Wheeler is the biggest goon among the kids, blitzes the Smog Dragon. He actually pulls up on it and says, yo, let's throw down. The only reason Wheeler couldn't actually do much to the dragon was because it's literally fireproof because of its hacks. So he kind of got screwed on that end, but he was definitely about it, and he hit hard enough with the fire to at least get the dragon's attention. Water, aka G, is able to match the super smog assault, and Earth, Kwame, rocks the dragon. I remember him like Kwame Brown, but this Kwame is actually good at what he does. Captain Planet is then summoned to handle the dragon because they figured out, okay, individually we're not doing great against the dragon. This could be going a lot better. So they summon Captain Planet. When Captain Planet shows up, immediately identifies the threat despite it being new to him, because he literally says, oh, a smog dragon, that is new. So he doesn't know what it is, but no one briefs him. They just summon him, and he instantly knew the threat. So he seems to have very good awareness. Also, instantly can turn himself into a lightning bolt. So you'll see more feats that kind of confirm he's easily above lightning, but literally can manipulate lightning or turn himself into lightning to blitz you if he feels like it. Cap easily intercepted the blast of the dragon to save the girl. Of course, since it's super smog, it pollutes him. He gets cleaned off and gets back into the fight easily, going right back at the dragon with no fear in his heart because he's Captain Planet, dog. He's about that life. He also shows he has like this, makes sense because he has obviously control over his own structure, given he could turn to a lightning bolt. But he can turn invisible, and he actually gets the drop on the scientist, this evil blonde chick that was causing the super smog dragon, and he seals both of them away in there. Moving on to issue 3. Eco-terrorists take over a base and plan to launch a toxic missile at DC, Washington, D.C., not DC Comics. They view Inspector Gadget as fiction, by the way. They literally reference it in a fictional way. If you want to call that fictional transcendent outerversal, whatever you want to call it, go ahead. I'm not going to argue with you because I don't care that much. But it did happen. They did say that. Also, these eco-terrorists say if you give us $1 million, we won't do this. Apparently, the government doesn't have $1 million on standby. They said we can't afford it. Crazy. Big if true. This issue also serves to provide evidence that the kids actually didn't have any real control before this or training prior. Like I said, they had like a weird town plus level feat, but they didn't have any control. They were just like winging it at that point. Hart, aka Matai, thinks his power is weak because to him, he thinks he's only a telepath. At this point, he's like, oh, I only am kind of an empath. I can feel people. I can mentally link with people, but that's it. So I'm weak. And Wheeler makes fun of him for not having an offensive power. We then see the kids start combining and mixing their powers. This makes them a lot more dangerous because they can produce different elements by mixing their own and come up with unique ways to attack people or defend themselves. Fire, aka Wheeler, blitzes a gunman, and then Matai, aka Hart, puts Homeboy and his friend to sleep with a simple command. Yes, you will see Hart's actually broken, but instantly induces sleep by telling them to go to sleep. Wheeler is also a complete douchebag, and he's constantly talking trash. It's kind of funny, he grows onto you, but the saving grace about his character is for the trash he talks, he does throw down. He actually will fight. So he's not soft, so that's a good thing. Captain Planet is summoned to stop the toxic missile that has been fired off. He casually intercepts this missile, instantly takes it to space. I mean, we can literally see the Earth is, in the background. You completely gets rid of it, lets it be destroyed in space so it doesn't hurt anybody, and flies through space casually. Cap then instantly returns to the kids because he realizes, they might be in trouble. He also, Captain Planet, if he's unsure of the best possible move in a situation, he actually has a psychic link to Gaia as well, and he can consult Gaia mentally on what the best move would be. Matai gets away as the other kids are captured by the terrorists, and he gets jumped, right? Gets saved because he carries a monkey with him. Matai had a monkey in his backpack. We don't ever see the damn monkey again, but he's a goon, and he blitzes a dude and beats his ass. And we don't see that monkey again, but shout out to that monkey for being a real one. He was a boy. Gaia then explains to Matai towards the end of the issue that Hart is not elemental. For those that came here looking for some Captain Planet wink, here's some incoming. Gaia explains Hart is not an element. It is a primal force, and it is boundless in possibilities. It has no limit because of its nature. Wow. Anyways, moving on. Hart summons an army of animals to fight with him. So from the surrounding forest, he instantly summons a bunch of animals and says, look, we got to take this dude out or y'all are in trouble too. So he has an army of animals, blitzes the terrorists, and ragdolls all of them. They put in work, son. Then Captain Planet one-shots a group of the terrorists with an earth dome pretty easily. It's light work for him. And then Hart subjects the bad guy. Captain, throws the lob to Hart and says, yo, Hart, I'm going to give you all your power back. You prove you're the MVP. He said, bet. Hart can subject you to a battle of wills and force you to endure the blackness of your soul. Though it did tax him the first time he did this, he had never tried it before, and he still pulled it off. He just overpowers you with willpower and makes you confront your darkest side. Low-key Ghost Rider with it. Sneak guy that we've been seeing, who turns out to be verminous scum later on, gets the drop on another kid. He got the drop before on a kid and put a device in his ear. Gets the drop on another kid. It's now 2 kids down, 3 to go in the group. They have devices in them that they don't know about. Issue 4. With no context, this scan you're about to see is really bad. It says if you can't nuke them, join them. Basically, it implies the kids are going to nuke you, and if they don't nuke you, you can join them. But it has context to it, but I'm not going to give it to y'all. It just looks funny if that's all you got to look at. Duke Nukem is introduced. There's a character by, same name, different character, but this is from this series. He has beef with Captain Planet from the past. It's explained in this comic. This came from the TV show. I will not be scaling the TV show in this video, but they go back to the TV show. Apparently he has bad blood with Cap because Cap beat his ass. Wheeler is revealed, aka Fire, to have been from the hood before. Yes, Wheeler's about it, like I told you. He goes back to his old hood. He sees the homies, he daps them up. He's like, yo, can I hang out with y'all? And they say, look, we're in a gang now, bro. We're not little kids anymore. We're called the Dragons. We're going to do gang stuff. Either you're about it or you're not. If you're not, get out of here. And, that hurts Wheeler. Wheeler then returns to his new friends, and the girl Linka says something about them being bad. And he said, look, dog, you're Russian. You don't understand the hood, so shut your damn mouth. And he leaves. Yes, Wheeler doesn't like the disrespect to his old block. He keeps it G and he leaves. The group is devastated. Duke Nukem then arrived. This is his strongest form so far, according to the comics. And he is absolutely massive and obviously has seismanip because he absorbs radiation and energy to become bigger and stronger. And he just completely tears up a street by simply, standing up. Hart has to summon Fire back to the group, aka Wheeler, so that they can take on Duke Nukem properly. Because as you remember, you need all the elements to summon Captain Planet. Duke shows right away that he scales above the individual rings. Now, Matai, when he reaches out, Wheeler says no and shows he has natural psychic defense. Pretty impressive because Hart had a psychic feedback from the resistance of Wheeler. Duke then tanks all 4 of the elements all at once that are there in an all-out assault and laughs. He says it doesn't do anything. Hart then gets Gaia to step in, so Gaia appears to Wheeler. Wheeler then understands the gravity of the situation, and Gaia convinces him to help the group. Linka, like I said, is from Russia, so her and Duke have big beef. Yes, he's making communist jokes. She's making capitalist burns. It's real. They're about to really... Well, he would have killed her. But she drops from a high area where he was because he's doing King Kong stuff and teaches herself how to fly with her wind element. It was pretty cool. Duke is so big and strong that he's breaking neighborhoods just by walking around. And he says, yo, if I felt like it, I could level the city. Wheeler then runs up on him, runs up on the plug, and pops his ass with fire. We also peeped that Wheeler low-key got across town in moments, so he might be a speedster. It was literally stated that he was on the other side of the town when this happened. I believe they're in New York. Duke's way above his prior form, as stated, because Captain Planet comes out and says, yeah, Duke's never been nearly this strong because he's tanking mixed elements being fired at him by Cap. Cap knows how to mix his elements naturally, and he's throwing a bunch of stuff at him, and he's just tanking it. Duke tries to hit Cap. Cap's laughing at him. Even though there is a strength possibility that Duke is stronger, he might be, but it's kind of even. Cap's definitely faster. Of course, another kid gets compromised, and it's 2 of them. Kwame and Matai, aka Earth and Heart. So they all have devices on them, and they got hacked. And like I said, Duke can't hit Cap at all. And Cap understands how nuclear fission works, understands the properties instantly, and beats Duke because he has knowledge on how Duke's radiation work that Duke doesn't even have. So Captain Planet's actually, even though he jokes around a lot, he's naturally very smart. And the Hood respects Wheeler again. Pretty dope to see. Issue 5. Cap's sense of humor will never weaken. It's literally canon. A theme park death trap was also set up to bolo the 5 kids. The kids invade this island. They get caught up and subjected to the traps because they're kids. They fall for stuff. And then Matai, my boy Matai Hart, gets put in the House of Hate. Hitler projections start beating him up. He's not tanking the yelling of Hitler. It was kind of funny to see, but yeah, he was going through it. And then he can neg, we see Captain Planet can actually neg his weakness via willpower if he has to save others. So like if he's fighting for something, he can power through literally being completely soaked in toxic waste. They realize they can control all forms of their element. This includes water and ice. And when they realize this and get their power back, they completely destroy the traps that were holding them. The lizard guy, by the way, or scum or whatever, vermin of scum, whatever he is, I think he's a rat. He tries to jump Wheeler. Wheeler was the only one in the group that was hard for him to get the drop on. He actually reacted to him and almost got a shot off, but got blitzed, and he's the final kid to get compromised. A team of robots then attack the kids, and they bolo their bots. The bots then have to come together to form like a mega pollution bot in order to even stand a chance against the kids. Captain Planet, when summoned to handle this, of course, he's OP, one-shots this massive bot that was tanking the other elements. Then Homeboy, when this happens, he sees the L's he's taking. He's like, yeah, set the island to explode, please. We need to punish them for ruining this. Captain Planet then clears out the entire island in 9 minutes. He has to fly back and forth with people constantly for 9 minutes before that island explodes, and he does it. He gets everybody out of there, gets them all the way back to the mainland. I didn't calc this. If you want to calc it, go ahead. But yeah, it's pretty crazy speed feat. Issue 6. They have to save ocean life from vermin scum that I already told you about. Hart can also sense things dying near him, so that's how they're able to get the drop on people doing bad stuff. He can sense the bad stuff going on. The group flies up on this algae water and starts immediately dealing with this lake of water, but it's a trap, of course. The lake, it has this algae that kind of comes to life and traps them, and they would have been able to clean an entire lake in moments, which is impressive, but they got attacked and they have to summon Captain Planet. Captain Planet gets jumped by a lake-sized algae attack, powers through by forcing himself to reach light, and instantly flies to outer space and destroys this lake full of algae. So he takes a lake-sized algae ball, flies it immediately to outer space, and destroys it with a blast. Pretty impressive. Cap instantly flies back down and re-oxygenizes the lake before anything can die. He has to do all of this in literal seconds because life was stated to already be basically on its deathbed prior to him being summoned. So like fish were moments away from dying when he was summoned, and he did all that spacefarer stuff before they could die and came back and re-oxygenized the water before they died. That's absolutely insane. Also, don't know if I mentioned it yet, they have their own island. It's called Hope Island. It's pretty dope. They go there, hang out, and they start training there more often as they mature and want to learn more. They start studying more to protect the environment, all that. They're just adapting. But the issue ends with the mind-controlled kids. The devices are finally triggered. The mind-controlled kids attack Gaia and bolo her. Yeah, it's getting real out here. Hope Island also by the way, has all types of life, both alive and extinct. Pretty cool to hear. Issue 7. The past villains we have dealt with up until now had formed a unit in order to pull off this masterpiece of a plan in which the kids have become compromised. However, they made the mistake of telling the kids to kill each other. This backfires because the rings inherently won't be destructive towards each other. Because this defense was triggered, the kids are instantly snapped out of control and are no longer under the control of the villains. Gaia was also not hurt by the kids. It was just a projection of her, so they never hurt her. So it is consistent that it can't be destructive to each other and possibly not even to good people. Gaia also starts mind hacking people with kindness. She's literally being nice to them, and it's just bowling them mentally, and only one of them is able to resist. It's this one angry blonde chick, Karen, and she has the power of hate. They've made anti-rings to the kids' rings, and it's powered by hate, and Captain Pollution is summoned for the battle of the century. That's right. Captain Planet is about to throw down with his evil counterpart. Real quick, before you see this battle, who do you think's going to win? Do you think he can beat his evil self? Find out in issue 8. The opposites prepare to clash. They acknowledge each other. They acknowledge, they're basically power equals, and Cap gets hit first and eats several blasts of straight pollution. Heart then says they beat their hate counters, basically like, hey, we fought the individual hate rings and we destroyed them, so Cap's got to do his job. Basically, Captain Planet should scale high enough that he can beat Captain Pollution. That should not be doubted. Cap then rocks Captain Pollution, I'll just call him Pollution, and decides to use tactics since they are almost even. So if you're relative to Captain Planet, instead of just risking that even 50-50 battle, he's going to be smart and plan around you instead of just trying to be brute force. Cap instantly dissipates so that the kids can hit Pollution with raw forms of their elements, so he instantly made himself disappear, giving the power back to the kids, and they rocked the hell out of Pollution. Pollution stood no chance as Heart uses the power of love to bolo hate like an anime and Pollution, and forces Captain Pollution to recede. Basically, if love overcomes hate, Pollution can't exist without hate, so Pollution was forced to be destroyed. As long as hope exists, by the way, so will the Planeteers. Does that scale the Planeteers to the concept of Superman? Let me know in the comment section down below, big if true. Moving on, issue 9. They get called to deal with a damaged oil spill that, quote, has immeasurable damage. Obviously, infinite damage in this ocean. It's getting real. Just kidding. But it was a very bad ocean level event. Sludge falls into the water. That's the name of the bad guy. Like I said, they have very obvious names. And merges with his dumpage waste, becoming this massive, it could have been thousands of feet tall technically, since it was an ocean, but it's at least over 100 feet tall. We then see Earth is on an island and can alter lava, and Earth can overpower volcanic eruptions. That takes a lot of power to do, and he actually straight up says, yeah, I just used my ring to overpower the volcano so it wouldn't explode. He fought it back and didn't allow the pressure to release. Very impressive power feat from Kwame. Issue 10. Captain Planet can one-hand an oil tanker. That's right, he's dealing with this oil tanker coming apart, pushes it together and is manhandling it with one hand, trying to figure out what he can do, in the meantime dealing with the rest of the problem. Captain Planet also in character will recede, will go back to the ring if he feels that gives them a strategic advantage. So they start as the comic goes on, the kids and Captain Planet become very good teammates with each other and work well off each other. Cap is also stated to be charged with the power of nature itself, and they attack Sludge. Heart haxes the being, temporarily stopping it in its tracks, kind of confusing it, and the others get Sludge out of the actual avatar he had and win. So yeah, they actually came together very well, proving they were quite capable even without Captain Planet. Issue 11. Water's name, like I said, is G or Gee, whatever you want to say. I don't know if I had mentioned that before, but the bad guy in this issue, his name, Loot Plunder. He is boloing forests for money. Specifically, this guy deals in real estate apparently, and he says, more trees chopped down, more real estate, baby, I'm trying to make bank. The cutter was designed to do this. The cutter was sabotaged so that it would begin boloing the forest. But the cutter device is so powerful, it would also destroy the neighboring town if it gets there and kill most of the people in it before they could even escape. Wind also, if you're ever in trouble or falling, can make mini tornadoes to catch you, and she can also use it offensively to keep people contained. Wheeler would have one-shot the helicopter even though it had already taken off, so he's so accurate with his blast that even though it's going off in the distance, he would have hit it, but he would have killed them, and Heart doesn't let him. Kwame also got snatched, and since he got snatched, the 4 element kids have to face the cutter alone because they can't use Captain Planet without the 5th element. Duke also states at one point that he would have to go to the Earth's core and absorb all the energy to surpass Captain Planet. Pretty big statement. I don't know if that's true because he was pretty close already, but good statement. It at least shows how much he respects the power of Captain Planet. Heart then summons birds to retrieve a ring so that they are able to finally bring out Captain Planet for the final battle. Issue 12. Final issue. We've made it. Cutter is gonna bolo a town of 13,000 people. That's the size of the town. And these kids are the ones that are standing in the way. Physically, not even including the devices it has on it to cause destruction, the cutter is 1,000 tons alone. It's a massive device. Wheeler and Water, aka Gee or G, are able to damage cutter. They're actually able to do some damage, push it back, give it a little bit of problems. Wind temporarily holds off the rampaging cutter as well, literally stopping it in its tracks with a blast. And they use Gaia to scare someone as a distraction. When this happens, Kwame is finally free to combine the 5th power for Captain Planet. It was previewed, like I said at the end of last issue, that they would be bringing out Captain Planet for the final battle, but this is finally the time as Kwame is given a split second to use his power. Kwame does this by instantly summoning an earth column hundreds of feet into the air to one-shot the helicopter before the pilots could even react. He instantly summoned it and was able to escape. Captain Planet is then summoned because the 5th guy got loose and starts absolutely ragdolling the cutter. Wasn't much of a competition. In fact, he casually lifted up the 1,000-ton cutter like a toy. And obviously, they won this battle as the cutter stood no chance against the likes of Captain Planet, and it gets absolutely yeeted 1960s Hulk style. Also, they have like this little story at the end where they believed they were time displaced, but they were never time displaced. What happened was they were put in this like nuclear radiation trap that they thought was future Earth, and they thought they failed, but it wasn't future Earth, obviously. And this energy was so potent, it actually cut off Gaia from the kids, which is pretty impressive. But anyways, when they finally realize what's going on, Captain Planet one-shots everyone involved and frees the homies. Anyways, that's the end of the video. As you can see, we had some pretty good speed feats in here, pretty good power feats, easily well above lightning time. Wouldn't be mad at you if you argued he was, I don't know, light speed above that maybe. Very possible. He did appear to use a couple light-based attacks at some point. But yeah, he should be FTO, honestly. But yeah, and he's also very strong. Let me know what you thought about this. If you thought he was this strong, stronger, or weaker, let me know. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to check out that community post and vote on what video I drop on Christmas. Anyways, it's been your favorite villain, and I will see y'all later. Peace.